Tonight, we lift our forks in anticipation of a new batch of buzzworthy restaurants. Our first stop is at a tucked-away neighborhood eatery between Cambridge's Porter and Harvard Squares. Giulia, spelled the Italian way with a G, features the authentic rustic cuisine of Umbria. Its flavors are from the region between Rome and Tuscany, where chef-owner Michael Pagliarini's family roots include lentil farmers. Here at Giulia, the Culinary Institute of America grad creates precise, ingredient-driven dishes that have regulars beating a path here nightly.
What's on the plate is extremely important to people. There are sophisticated diners here in Cambridge and, of course, the Boston area, and they are very in tune to the quality of what you serve. That being said, we want our food to be the backdrop to a special evening together.
All Giulia pastas are homemade, hence favorites like the pappardelle with wild boar and black trumpet mushrooms. Signature starters include tiny clams in brodetto with corn and pancetta, and the bruschetta with eggplant caponata and house-made ricotta. As for mains, guests flock to the grilled swordfish with mozzarella stuffed squash blossoms. Boston Magazine's food critic Corby Kummer is a Giulia fan, describing the food as grounded in tradition and from the heart.
Here's Michael Pagliarini doing a kind of gentler, more authentic, less assertive, but beautifully tailored, carefully considered Italian food. It's rare. It's just got deep flavors, real care in every component of the dish.
Giulia is one of those homey trattorias where the waitstaff knows lots of guests by name, and many of those guests are just as happy to eat at the bar than tableside. That being said, the chef's table creates new friends most nights. On this one, it's occupied by a group of 12 fast friends, all of whom randomly met as regular riders on the Acela train to New York.
It's meant to be fun, it's meant to be friendly, it's meant to be warm and relaxing. We're in a busy neighborhood here in Cambridge, and we have people dropping by after work. Sometimes people are coming for a special occasion. We want people to feel relaxed, we want them to feel at home, we want them to come in hungry but not leave that way. A time for them to really sit back, relax, and enjoy.
If you're a culinary trend watcher, you know that oysters are the new foie gras. Oyster bars are popping up everywhere, much to the delight of shellfish zealots. This past winter, a veteran team of restaurateurs opened up a cozy, old-timey seafood and wine bar in the North End called Neptune Oyster.
It is so much fun, and it is absolutely terrific to look at. With tile floors, it looks like a cross between some arrondissement in Paris and New Orleans. It's really fun.
With just 40 seats, Neptune Oyster is an intimate, belly-up-to-the-bar kind of place. The Salem Street restaurant features 14 different kinds of raw oysters, shipped in from as close as Wellfleet to as far away as Alaska. Just what is it about the love affair so many people have these days with oysters?
Some people find them, very sexy, and and that's great. I'm not sure. I think they're just delicious. They just taste great, so.
But man cannot live by oysters alone, so the menu includes a lengthy list of seafood dishes. There's fried calamari, meaty lobster rolls, pasta with lobster in it, and the obligatory North End staple, Fra Diavolo. Neptune Oyster was opened in March by husband and wife Jeff and Kelly Nace, who along with chef David Nevins worked together at Olives.
They really know how to keep a place cheerful. It's teensy tiny, and yet when I went on 3 crowded evenings, I almost never waited more than 15 or 20 minutes. I can't guarantee that for everybody, but they kept the tables turning. We felt very well cared for when we were there. They do know how to run a small restaurant and bar.
Well, I think it's fair to say that it's probably harder to get a table at Neptune Oyster today than back in the day. It's still crowded and usually very packed.
And as far as Giulia goes, Boston food critics have always loved it as well. And now the owners have opened up a new seafood restaurant and bar called Moeka, which is nearby as well. So they continue to do well.
All right, still ahead, a hip Thai spot in Brookline.